How's it going, class? Welcome to I-124, Important Information, and today we're going to go over one of the more forgotten choke artists of our generation, Mr. J.R. Hildebrand. So strap yourselves in for a sad tale, but one that, no, it's just sad. Let's get into it. Let me reintroduce you now to the choker at hand, Mr. J.R. Hildebrand. He is a 13-year professional IndyCar driver, touting 0 career wins but 3 career podiums, and was the 2011 Indianapolis 500 runner-up. That's going to be some very important information to hold on to, but for now, let me introduce you to 2011's version of J.R. Hildebrand. This is the 2009 Indy Lights champion, which is the minor leagues for IndyCar, and it is his very first year as a professional IndyCar driver for Panther Racing. He has managed to qualify for the Indy 500 in his very first year trying, and his eyes, as you can see, are just so full of life and hope. Let's hope that those will stay like that for the foreseeable future. Speaking of the race that he qualified for, let me introduce you to the event we'll be covering today, the Indianapolis 500. This here is the greatest spectacle in racing, if the marketing is to be believed, and it is the largest single-day sporting event in the world, touting more than 320,000 attendees just for one race. It is the biggest event of the IndyCar season, some touting that it's actually more important than the IndyCar season itself. And this specific race is very important indeed. This is the 100th anniversary of the running of the Indianapolis 500. It is not the 100th race because there were a couple wars involved for a couple of years as some unimportant stuff, but this will be the 100th year since the first race. So the entire state of Indiana has its eyes set on this one event. There's also a lot at stake for the people racing. A $2.5 million prize will be going towards the winner of this race, but that is unimportant compared to the real prize, where once on the podium, first place will be granted their glass of delicious warm buttermilk milk to be drank in the middle of the May heat. So it's basically a very big deal for everybody involved. Let's go over the lead that JR might have had at this point in time. This is his very first Indy 500, and boy is he excited. Through some great racing and some even better strategy, JR has managed to put nearly a 2-second lead on second place's Dan Wheldon with half a lap to go in the race. Now, for those of you that may be a little less initiated towards how the leads in racing works, this is the equivalent of having about a 13-point lead with only about 35 seconds left in a basketball game. Barring some horrible unforeseen tragedy, nothing's going to stop this man from winning this race. In fact, the announcers have already started cautiously talking about how much of a storybook ending this is for Panther Racing as a whole. All JR needs to do is complete the final 2 turns of this race while avoiding the lapped car of Charlie Kimball, and he will become the 3rd rookie ever to win the Indianapolis 500. So, let's see some magic, JR. Bring it home for us.
Here comes J.R. Hildebrand, this time by. The white flag is in hand. 2.5 miles.
Come on, baby, bring it home.
Keep going. The 23-year-old from Sausalito, California. Listen to the crowd cheer him on.
And how fitting for the National Guard car to win if he can indeed do that. Has he got enough fuel to make it to the end?
Half a lap. He's got half a lap to go, and he's the Indy 500 champion.
Panther Racing, oh so good. They finished second here, twice here. They come again through the final 2 corners. J.R. Hildebrand.
Careful with traffic.
He's got to get around the lap. Traffic, 100 years. No! He hit the wall! Just like Thomas Schechter.
Keep your foot on the gas.
Dan Wheldon is going to win the race.
Yeah, Dan!
That is unbelievable. Oh, my goodness.
Weldon, after finishing second the last 2 years, wins when J.R. Hildebrand hits the wall coming out of 4. He becomes the 9th driver with 2 wins. And while he is celebrating, J.R. Hildebrand is aching inside.
While attempting to pass the lap car of Charlie Kimball, JR misjudges the distance on the pass and slams into the turn 4 wall, destroying 2 of his tires and removing his car's ability to accelerate. Dan Weldon, who has not let up on the gas at all up to this point, is informed by his team that JR has hit the wall, so he speeds his car up and manages to pass him to take first place and secure his second Indy 500 win of his career. To reinforce the massive lead that JR had, despite basically destroying his car by hitting the wall, he managed to glide to the finish line with no acceleration and only 2 tires, and still managed to get second place overall. After this event, JR would never have the same chance to win the Indy 500 again, and as of now has no career IndyCar victories to his name. But not everything is so bad in the world of JR Hildebrand. While his legacy is decently well known in the IndyCar scene, he has been mostly spared from the public scrutiny due to a variety of factors. One of the largest being how well he handled himself after the incident. JR took full blame for the mistake. In addition to that, the public would move on to far more prolific chokes as time wound on, putting him on the back burner and allowing him to fade into only the more obscure of choking circles. And despite it all, some people, including myself, continue to root for Hildebrand each year, as we hope that he might be able to secure that win that was lost to him all of those years ago. So, what did you and me, the common man, learn from this event? Number 1, stay far away from Charlie Kimball. Lesson number 2, no matter how large your opponent's lead is, never slow down. And the biggest lesson to learn from this event, watch the wall, JR. Thank you all for attending. A reminder that this information will be on 1, the quiz, and 2, the exam coming up in the future, so be sure to study the notes and watch the video over if you've forgotten any key details. This is an attendance-based class, so be sure to attend next month's talk as well in order to make sure you get full points. Thank you all for attending this lecture, and have a fantastic day.